Fuel scooping complete.
Oh, right. So here we are with the first Elite Dangerous video since Christmas. And, well, I have started something which, by my standards, is a bit ambitious. But well, a lot of other players, this is pretty much fuck all nothing, but I'm going to give it a go. Because combat is still pretty much fucked up, and a lot of my trade routes have seemed to disappear, I'm giving some long distance exploration a go. Now you can see my explorer rank is currently 54% past Ranger. I'm hoping that by the time I finish this expedition that I'm doing, that will be up to Pioneer. If we look at my exploration stats, you'll see systems visited is up to 3,408. Then products from exploration is up to 38.1 million. Now, according to reliable sources, I need something like 58 million to get to Pioneer, so I need another 20 million. Now, I thought it was more than that. I thought it was somewhere in the region of 63 million that I needed, but well, if it is 58, I'll certainly take that. The other, or another reason for doing the exploration is that I have finally found all 25 materials. Polonium here was the last one I needed, and it is one that I needed, so I am able to do that, which means that I am able to do 2 premium level FSD boosts, which in my ASP will give me a jump range of just over 60. I will also be able to do 9 standard ones, which will give me a bonus of 50, so I'll be able to do about 45 light year jump. It might be a little bit less because the niobium, that niobium is the only one that is used in both of these, so I will definitely be able to do 9 of them even after oh hang on, no I won't, because this uses 3, so that will take up 6 niobium, which will leave me with 10. So yeah, actually okay, I will still be able to do 9 of those, and then however many of the basic ones which give me 25% distance. Germanium, yeah, I should still be able to do a decent amount of those. So I'm confident that I will be able to make my destination. Also, if I need to, I can do the premium AFM refill. I'll do 3 of those, thanks to having 3 tellurium. Or I could do 3 of the standards, or I could do 7 of the basic ones. But let's face it, I can do the premiums, so I might as well do those if I need to. I can't do any of the weapon ones because the only weapons I've got on my ASP are laser based. And of course I can do all the premium ones of all 3 of the SRB. So if need be, I can land on a planet in my SRB and look for some more materials. So where am I? Well, as you can see, I am in California sector AA-Z C6, and there is fuck all here, well apart from a second star that is 196,000 light seconds away, so I'm not fucking scanning that, which means that I am here, just outside the California Nebula. In fact, there are an awful lot of stars around this area, but I'm leaving them all behind. I'm carrying on in this direction, or roughly this direction. And I actually have 2 ports of call. The first is a long fucking way away. I plan to go to here, the Crab Nebula, which as you can see is pretty much in the fucking middle of nowhere. In fact, to get to it, I'm going to have to pass it and then turn around and come back. My ultimate destination will be the Crab Pulsar, which as you can see is just over 6,000 light years away from where I currently am. Once I've been there, as you can see, I still have a long way to go. I mean, I have travelled 900 and actually no, I've travelled further than that because I started 1065 from there. I actually started in Shinrarta Dezhra, but oh well. Now once I've been there, for the return trip, my next port of call will be very close to where I am now, in fact, and that is the Horsehead Nebula, which is just behind the Barnard's Loop. And the reason I want to come here is because look at the fucking state of that. That looks utter shite. And I want to see if it looks that shite in the actual game. You know, not just on the galaxy map. So that's where I will be heading to on the way back, before then returning to the populated zone. So I've got a long fucking way to go. My plan is to try and cover 1,000 light years. I don't need to unlock that. 1,000 light years a day, which means that well, I started yesterday, so it means I should take about a week to get there.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Now, shock horror, I am not scanning everything in every system I arrive at. I'm basically
Frameshift drive
scanning the main sun, obviously, and any valuable planets that are within a reasonable distance, say 4,000 light seconds.
2, 1, engage.
If they're outside that, then they would have to show potential of being extremely valuable for me to bother going out to scan them. Now you can see from this hyperspace jump here that ever since Horizons came along and Frontier Developments took the decision to make this 64-bit, there is an enormous amount of stuttering during the hyperspace jump animation. This looks like this has got a fair few valuable planets in it. They're all very close to the sun, which tells me, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Well, at least the first 6 are valuable. Oh well, they're all relatively close, so I may as well do them. So anyway, yes, there's an awful lot of stutter through during the animation sequence for hyperspace. I don't know why. There is absolutely nothing in Horizons that says this needed to be a 64-bit program. 32-bit programming could have easily covered everything that's in this game, but I don't know why I stopped there. The scan hadn't even fucking started. But yeah, because Frontier Development seems to be made up of people who have zero experience or zero talent, they don't optimize any code whatsoever, so it is hugely resource hungry, even when it's doing, well, not a whole hell of a lot. So anyway, that's what I am doing. So this video is going to consist of a lot of snippets strung together, but I'm not going to be recording them that frequently, because otherwise you're going to end up with, you know, a video that's made up of about, well, something getting on for about 200 fucking clips, which means it'll take a fucking age to put together, and then it will take a fucking age to upload, and then YouTube will send my computer haywire, as it always does, so I just can't be asked to deal with it. So I'm not going to do that unless I come across a system that is absolutely fantastic. There isn't likely to be a great deal of coverage of the journey to the Crab Nebula until I reach, well, certainly the wall, as it's referred to, and once the Crab Nebula itself is visible. I'm a long way from that. So, right, well, that will do for this intro then, and I shall be back when there is something to come back to. As I say, that's likely to be well, not for quite some time.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Right, it's been a day since I did the last clip, and I've travelled about 2100 light years in the meantime. I'm now in a system that has a few interesting planets, so I'm going to scan them because they are going to be worth a little bit. They're all going to be like metal rich or high metal content, most likely. I'm in a huge area where I'm the first person scanning anything in all of these systems, which is all well and good, but there's nothing really very valuable high metal content here. I mean, this one looks like it might be a water world, but that's all I'm finding is high metal contents and the very occasional water world. The really good paying stuff, like, you know, ammonia worlds and earth likes, not found any of them yet. In fact, it's been at least 800 light years since I've even seen a gas giant of any description, which is a bit ridiculous. I mean, okay, the systems are randomly generated while you're using the Discovery scanner, but surely, you know, in this whole region, which, as I say, I'm travelling, it's been for the last 800 light years, perhaps more than that, maybe the last 900, and for it to not come up with a single gas giant makes me think something's fucked up here. So, well, if I show you the stats, there you can see the reason why I'm showing you this. This is the 3500 system, and if you check the max distance from the start, it's now at 2996, so the next jump will get me to 3000 plus from the start, so I'm already at the furthest point from the start that I have ever been, and I'm not even halfway to my ultimate destination, the old Crab Pulsar. And of course it's not just going to be a simple case of going straight there. I have to pretty much fly past the Crab Nebula itself, and then turn round and basically fly into it from the south. Otherwise, well, I just can't get into the bloody thing. These remaining planets are right on the very limit of my range. If they're beyond 4,000, I won't bother. These last two, 6,000 and 9,000, if they're still at that sort of range, which it looks like they, well, one of them might not be, then bollocks to it, I won't bother with them. So let's just check the system map. Fucking typical. The one I think could be a water world is one that's really far away, so I will go and check that one out, but yeah, I won't do the very last one. So there you go, that's the update. So I'm currently in, well, I haven't got a clue how you pronounce this place. Flyo Eon BI-Q D6-2. Well, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've been in this region for ages. This region is pretty vast. But at the end of this session, I'm trying to do 1,000 light years per session, I'll be in the Pilt region. And well, then I will be over halfway. Anyway, that's enough of this update. I'll be back when there is something to come back to. Right, update. I have now done, you actually get the info. I have now visited 3,558 systems, and max distance from the start is 4,493, so as near as damn it 4,500 light years. And I'm currently in the system of Pilt QP-V D3-56, and this is the first system in nearly 2 days that somebody has already scanned prior to me arriving. However, that is not a coincidence. I knew about this system, and I decided to head to this one on the way, because this system has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 water worlds. So it was worth scanning, even if it meant having to travel 18,000 light seconds, about nearly 19,000, to get to this one. Plus these high metal content ones here, and that one there, and that gas giant, and another high metal content there. So this place was definitely worth scanning, even though, say, it's the first place in ages that I've been to that somebody else already had. The system I was in before this one, I've forgotten the name, but it was another Pilt. Obviously I was the first person to scan it, and that did have an Earth-like world, so I finally found one. And that goes along with an ammonia world that I finally found. I was the first person to scan that. Now I found at least 4, maybe 5 systems that had 2 water worlds in them, where I was the first person to scan them. But not this system with 4. Mind you, those 2, if I get back in time to make sure I am the first to hand all of those in, then it will be worth as much as the 4 here. Now I'm surrounded by a fair few nebula. This one here is the Rosette Nebula. This one here is the Seagull Nebula. I don't think I'm going to bother going to either of those on the way back. I'm certainly not going to on the way there. But this one I will be checking out on the way back. This is called the Jellyfish Nebula, and if you look at it from this way, you can quite clearly see why. But it looks interesting enough for me to make that somewhere that I'll head back to. So I'll go there. It's roughly a third of the way between Crab Nebula and back to the populated zone. My first port of call in the populated zone will be 69 Gamma Carinae, because I want to get the permit for Crom. That's where you get it from, so I can use some of my exploration data to get that. I should then be able to use the rest of the exploration data to get the remaining 3 permits after that one. Anyway, you can see the large and small Magellanic Clouds. But to give you some idea of the distance I travelled, that is the Barnard's Loop and Orion Nebula. That's how far away it is, and of course it's in completely other direction compared to how you usually see it in the populated zone. That tiny blob there, I'm pretty sure, is Witch's Head Nebula, and that small black smudge there is a California Nebula, where I was when I first started. So that gives you an idea of how far I've come. In fact, if we go into the galaxy map, so there you have the Seagull Nebula, Rosette Nebula there, Jellyfish Nebula up there, the Monkey Head Nebula there. I don't think I'm going to see that much clearer. Actually, yes, I have been seeing that a lot clearer. That's the one that looks quite similar to Witch's Head Nebula, and I have been seeing that, so I wasn't aware that that was what it was called. But anyway, if we check where Crab is now, it is less than 2,500 light years away. So I'm getting bloody close to it now. Well, I say bloody close, I mean 2,500 light years. It's still a long fucking way, but well, compared to the distance that I have travelled, I'm well on the way. So that is about another 2.5 sessions to go. I've still got more to go for this session. In fact, what I may do is see if I can stomach travelling another 1,000 light years. Now, to give you an idea of how far I've come, I started in Shinrarta Dezhra. Let's see how far back that is. 4,591.56 light years. So that's how far I have travelled. That is, yeah, that's HIP 16607. That's where my mining ship is, my clipper, that's it. And the Het, where my cutter and further lance are, is 4,598.52 light years behind. So yes, I still have quite a way to go, but I have put a huge amount of distance well behind me. So I'm now 2/3 of the way there, as near as damn it. And well, as you've seen, 4,493 light years from the start. 3,558 systems visited. I've not used any FSD boosts yet. I'll only use them if I have to. I've not used any of my auto field maintenance unit yet. Everything's still fine. In fact, that was the first time I've even checked. But I'm pretty sure I can get to Crab Nebula, possibly Crab Nebula and back without having to use it. So all is going well at the moment. And I have a feeling that it will continue to go well. So anyway, that's where I am at the moment. So we shall be back when there is something to come back to. I suspect that will be when we there is Monkey Head Nebula right there. Anyway, I suspect the first thing or the next thing we'll see is the when the Crab Nebula is starting to be visible. It's either that or it'll be when I reach the wall. Either way, yeah, back when there is something to come back to. Right, it is now New Year's Eve. It looks very possible that I will be seeing the new year in the Crab Nebula itself. So, this is how I'm doing. Systems visited now up to 3,595. My total hyperspace distance is now up to 116,765 with 7,968 total hyperspace jumps. And the important one for me at the moment, max distance from the start is now up to 5,479, so I've almost doubled what my previous max distance was before I started this. Now you can see I'm in the, however the fuck you pronounce that, the Kado KJ-O D7-19 system. Couldn't think of anywhere better. Now, if we swing this round, that there in the distance, that is the Crab Nebula. That's how close I am. It is now visible on the galaxy map. There you go, just to prove it. And the Crab Pulsar is now 1,512 light years away, so I will be getting there today. Now for the return trip, I've decided to make the return trip interesting. So what I'm actually going to be doing is I've gone about this a bit backwards as far as exploration goes. So I've done the long, boring travelling part, which is normally coming back. I've done that first. So the first nebula I'll be going to is obviously Crab. After Crab, my next port of call, which will be during my return trip, will be the Jellyfish Nebula. Now I'm not that far away from it, and in fact, seeing the map there, this is now going to be the second place I go. But anyway, this is going to be my port of call, and this system here, another neutron star, therefore this is the origin of the nebula itself. That will be the system that I particularly want to see around here. But I'm also going to be heading to Monkey Head. Now I think that might be further on from Crab. I'm not 100% sure. In fact, it must be, because this is some 2,000 odd light years away. Okay, no it isn't, it's about 1100. So, but once I'm at Crab, then this becomes, you know, a lot further away. It's in the region of 2,000 odd light years away. So this will be where I come next after Crab. Then Jellyfish. Then after that I will be checking out the Rosette Nebula. It's right here. As you can see, the Rosette Nebula it's a little bit out of the way. It doesn't look anything remarkable. It doesn't look that much different to the California Nebula, but you know, I'll check it out anyway. Then you can see in the distance there, the next place I'll be going to is the Seagull Nebula. There's another one that doesn't look overly remarkable, but it does look very dense for a nebula of its size. So that could be interesting. And then after Seagull, there's quite a long way to go before I get to Horsehead. And that's taken me to the Horsehead fucking dark region. Okay, Horsehead Nebula. There we go. It is that one that looks like absolute shite that I showed you at the start. Then after Horsehead, I've already done like Barnard's Loop, and I've done the Orion Nebula and the Running Man Nebula and the Fire Nebula, so I don't need to go there again. But the next one after that I'll be going to is the Pleiades Nebula. I'm hoping I spelt it wrong, or right rather. I don't think I have. Yeah, so now Pleiades Nebula I'm going to be going to, because of course I've already been to Maya, but Maya will be where I want to go, and the reason I want to go there is because this is where a docking station was built. It's right there. This was built to study the various alien artifacts and what have you. As you can see, this place also has a black hole. And it has, that's the trouble, the black hole is a long fucking way, but I'd be interested to know how the black hole affects, you know, what it's like moving around on the surface of a planet that's, well, relatively close to it. But that means travelling 346,769 light seconds, so I don't know if I will be doing that. So, well, anyway, so as you can see, there is a lot of stuff that I plan on doing for the return trip. Of course, that means I'll be getting a lot more exploration data, which I can sell, and I've forgotten to set my course. I am going next to, however you pronounce that, fuck it, that's how you write it anyway. 10, that's 15. You can see 994.86 light years from where I am. I'm having to come down quite a bit now because as you can see, I am on top of Crab Nebula rather than actually approaching it in a straight line, so I've got quite a way to go as far as moving down through the galactic plane. But anyway, yes, so that rather long-winded, winding, convoluted return trip will result in, you know, a lot of sights to take in with all the various nebulae, so it will make it more interesting, certainly more interesting than the trip out here. And of course it means I'll be getting a lot more exploration data, which should mean I will reach the Pioneer rank hopefully means that
3, 2, 1,
hopefully I'll also be able to trade in, you know, enough to get the remaining permits that I'm after. So,
fuel scooping.
well, anyway, so, well, it's now less than 1500 light years till Crab Nebula, so I shall be back when there is something to come back to. Right, another update. I haven't got very far actually since my last one. I'm now 3,605 systems. I'm now 5,741 distance from the start. But I think that is the Crab Nebula. It's now visible in the actual playing area, not just on the map.
Frameshift drive charging.
So we're getting somewhere. It's now we can now actually see the destination.
4, 3, 2.
Once you're seeing it is one thing, getting to it is another. I think the most difficult part of the trip is still to come, because I've got to cross that vast expanse of fuck all in order to get to it, and that's not going to be easy. Okay, I'll scan that one. I've no idea what kind of star it is, but I should be able to scan it pretty easily.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Looks like a brown dwarf. What kind? Okay, well that one's not so bad, so... Anyway, so... yes, the Crab Nebula is now visible, so... another milestone reached. So, back when there's something to come back to. Right, new update. That coloured smudge is definitely the Crab Nebula. I am now at 3,616 systems visited. My max distance from the start has now passed 6,000. We're at 6,026, and I can plot a course to the Crab Pulsar. 42 jumps from where I am now, so I do not need the frameshift drive boost to get there, and indeed I can jump there or set the course from 42 jumps away. So we are definitely all set. So I think updates will be a little more regular now. Mind you, being more regular than they have been so far is not difficult.
4, 3, 2.
So I think the next update then will be once the Crab Nebula is noticeably larger. I suspect I've got at least 20 jumps before that is the case. This is only the second brown dwarf star that I have encountered, as far as it being the first star when I jump into a system. That is due to the settings that I had. Oops, I was supposed to select system map. I want to see what these other... no, they're all fucking pointless. So anyway, yeah, so I have been avoiding brown dwarfs, but clearly I can no longer avoid them. So, well, anyway, you're now noticeably closer. 41 jumps now, back when there is something to come back to. Right, another update, and that is that I've either reached or I'm very fast approaching the area known as the wall. And the reason I can tell that is because, well, as you can see in front of me, quite a lot of stars in the area. If we go up here, they nearly all disappear. So I'll position myself like so. We have a huge amount of stars right there, and then suddenly almost fuck all. And that's what the wall is. I'm wondering how well it's going to show in the galaxy map. What it basically is the area where the pre-rendered section, looks like the next place I'm going to is a T-Towery star. But yeah, it's the end of the area where the main rendered part of the galaxy ends, and the randomly generated procedural part begins. And this area is not one of the clearer areas as far as seeing it on the galaxy map goes. There are some that are ridiculous. I can't remember the there was a system I was told by Commander Ripperjack, surprise surprise, and I took a look and it just looked absolutely ridiculous. There's like a huge amount of stars, and they suddenly just hit, well, a wall, and suddenly virtually fuck all after them. Now this area where I am, it's not quite as noticeable, but it is still noticeable if you're looking, you know, there compared to here. So that's rather bollocks. The other part of the update, the Crab Nebula in the background there is getting slightly larger. You can also now start to make out some of the colour variations. It's not just that drab olive green colour. You can see some of the spots of the reddish brown colour in it as well. So we are getting closer. I am now, how many is it? 32, including this one, jumps away from Crab Pulsar. Obviously the Crab Pulsar is not going to be the only system within the Crab Nebula that I scan. What I also plan to do is land on a planet within the system that is within the nebula itself, and see how that looks, you know, from the surface of a planet. And once I've done that, I'll probably string these first lots of videos together and release this as a multi-part video. I wasn't going to do that. I was going to do the lot in one go. Those two planets look too minor to be bothered with. I'm going to skip them. So if you come out to this system, you can get a couple of firsts. I'll leave them for you. So yeah, anyway, yeah, once I've landed and had a little look around, I'll upload or join these lot together and upload the first part. And then there'll be a different part for each system I visit. I'm not going to do a final part of me selling all the data, because I'm not selling it in one go. As I say, I'm going to be going to about 4 or 5 different stations and selling them using the data I sell to
3, 2,
get the last few permits I need. There are 5 currently in the game that I don't have. I can get 4 of them with this data. The 5th one involves that fucking CQC bollocks, getting to level 50 and gaining the first prestige. I can't be fucking bothered with all that shit. Certainly not at the moment. So,
fuel skipping.
48 looks like I might be a bit busy here. Depends on how good those 48 are and how close they are. Right, well they're gas giants. Looks like the majority of this system, those 48 bodies, are taken up with these shitty asteroid belts. But 4 gas giants, I'll scan them. The 5th planet is not going to be worth bothering with. Right, okay, well you know the drill, more when it happens. Right, another update. Just scanning a couple more planets in this system. But you can see from this screenshot here how much the galactic core region has been condensed from this far out. So that middle area where the huge amount of stars are now really is quite bright because of the density of the star field. Along with that now extremely faint pinkish smudge there is the huge bloody great Orion Nebula and Barnard's Loop. So yeah, from this range it does look quite pathetic. Is that last planet? Yeah, it's an ICU-1. I can't be fucking bothered. So, okay, I'm sure it looks, well, even more ridiculous if you are heading towards Sagittarius A0 out, but that is the smallest and faintest that I have seen it thus far. Though it will get smaller because I still have 25 jumps to the Crab Pulsar. But nevertheless, I can't get over just how small and how faint the Barnard's Loop now looks. Anyway, you can now quite clearly see the Crab Nebula. So, well on our way. More when it happens. Right, one more update, and the Crab Nebula is now quite clearly visible. I'm 12 jumps away from it. I think I'm getting pretty close to the point where I'm actually going past it and then turning back round and heading into it. I don't have to go as far past it as I thought, but I do have to go past and then come back again. So, 12 jumps to go. Alrighty. Well, here we are in Crab Sector EG-Y E2. Oh, E2. 8 is the planet on there. Which means I have now travelled 3,656 systems visited and a max distance of 6,944 light years from the start. In fact, I have travelled more than that because I started at Shinrarta Dezhra, as you know. I have travelled just over 7,000 light years. So all is going well. And as you can see, poor old Orion Nebula and Barnard Loop are now looking utterly pathetic way out there against the well, very compact looking galactic core now. However, the Crab Nebula is looking quite impressive. She is. This is as close a view as we are possibly going to get, because our next stop is the Crab Pulsar, which is within the thing. The Crab Pulsar is where the or is the origin of the nebula itself. That is where the explosion took place. And is how this dust cloud came to be. Now the pulsar is actually rendered as a neutron star in this game, and unlike their bullshit about Pluto and their rendering of that, with the Crab Pulsar, technically they could be right. I mean, we don't know what the Crab Pulsar actually looks like, but pulsars can be theoretically any size or within reason. So they could be the size of a white dwarf, or they could be the size of a neutron star. And if they are the size of a neutron star, which is only about the size of, well, some of them can be about the size of a golf ball, you won't actually be able to see the pulses. Awfully convenient. So I suspect that if you do happen to stumble across any of the pulsars and any of the other nebulae, they are all going to be rendered as neutron stars. Anyway, let's get in there and take a look. Now, pulsars have enormous gravitational fields, so I suspect that is where we are going to emerge, right by the neutron star itself.
3, 2, 1.
Which means we're probably going to have to slam the brakes on pretty fucking fast. Thankfully, I'm getting quite good at that. Yep. I can't even see the fucking thing. There it is. So we are 0.22 light years or light seconds away from it, and it looks like it's about 30 light years away. But there it is, that is the Crab Pulsar. Now I suspect, considering the size of the explosion, that I'm completely wrong. I thought that would be the only thing in here, and I can't believe there is anything else in here. So let's take a look at what is in here. Quite a lot. That I certainly was not expecting, but all of those suns, or stars as to say, will explain why the Crab Pulsar is so fucking bright when you are looking at it from the outside in. Salvageable wreckage in here. Probably flew too close to the pulsar or the neutron star, so I've got to make sure I don't accidentally fly into it. I think we're safe. Yeah. I've got no idea what that message that I got said, or even who it was from on doing this. So whoever you are who sent it, you'll have to wait for me to reply. So now we get to see the interior of the Crab Nebula. I am pretty sure that the Crab Nebula explosion was, in astronomical terms, quite recent. It explains why the the nebula itself is somewhat small, even though it is quite a well-known one, and also explains that well, it may be small, but I mean there are certainly a lot of nebulae that are you know, a lot smaller than this, but the density of the dust cloud itself is considerable for a nebula of this size. So the dust hasn't had a huge amount of time to really disperse, so it is quite dense. Even though it's covering an area that is, well, quite a few light years in size. Since I've come all this way, I might as well scan everything. The one thing that's missing that I wish this place had is a planet that I can land on, because this is not the only system that is within the Crab Nebula, so I'm going to be taking a look at some other systems, and surely one of them will have a planet I can land on. I'm quite interested in seeing what a what it will look like, being able to see all of the dust of the nebula whilst on a planet surface. And I'm also interested to see what I will find in the way of materials. Because everything in here seems to be suns, or almost everything, or stars I should say, it means that scanning it all doesn't take all that long. It shouldn't take all that long. So I will pause this here while I scan everything else, and I'll be back when I've found a planet that I can land on. So hey, that is the Crab Pulsar, and we'll be back as always when there is something to come back to.
Orbital flight engaged.
Right. Well, I said I would do a video clip of landing on a planet with the Crab Nebula in the background. It looks like it's working out, but then again it looked like that yesterday. This is actually the second video I'm doing of this. The first one was on a much better planet, because the planet actually has three completely different coloured terrains, all quite close to each other. There's a large brown area, then there was this green area, and then a white, presumably snow-covered area to the north, and it looked pretty good. But as happens so often, ShadowPlay fucked up and didn't record it, and I'm getting fucking sick of it. So there is a good possibility that the rest of this trip, with the multiple nebulae that I'll be visiting on the way back, I'm not going to cover it very much, because I'm just sick of recording stuff and doing loads of voiceovers, and then ShadowPlay just not working and it doesn't record any of it. So, you know, bollocks to the fucking thing. I just can't be asked to put up with all that shit all the time. In terms of the actual planet itself, once you landed on it, it was business as usual. Fucking boring, not really much to do, just look at the scenery. It looks like this is more of the same. I mean, that's a huge bloody great mountainous area here. But, you know, all we've got is some impressive sights. And now that we're in a nebula, we also get some impressive skies, you know, because of the dust cloud of the nebula itself. In terms of gameplay, you know, nothing's changed. It's still fucking, well, has zero depth, pretty much zero variety. So yeah, it looks great, you know, but as I keep saying, good graphics do not mean the game will be good, and this is fast becoming the prime example of that. Anyway, let's actually land here.
Landing gear deployed.
Gravity is more than okay, just 0.28. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with that. Don't think the terrain where I'm setting down though is going to be suitable, because it looks quite bumpy. Yeah, nowhere near suitable. Yeah, I'm going to get the occasional blue flicker, but I mean, you know, trying to actually find somewhere suitable and actually be able to stay there, it will be a lot easier said than done. And even if I do you know, manage to stay there, a lot of the time, even when you touch down, it still won't act as if you've landed properly. So now we get to see travelling around the surface. Don't really like doing this because, for one thing, it's fucking pointless. You don't really gain anything from it. Travelling on the SRV around terrain like this is hardly going to be, you know, a barrel of laughs either. Let's see. Moves like, you know, a millimetre the wrong way. Now we've got to try and line up again. There we go. But because the area that I can land is so small, yeah, I think we're now down, but it's not actually counting as us landing, and now it's saying unsuitable terrain. You know, welcome to the fun of landing and horizons. So I'm keeping down, or I can't go down any lower, but I'm still keeping the button, you know, the key to thrust downwards pressed. But no, not going to let me land at all. I can't turn left or right to, you know, change anything. It says alignment okay, so we should be fine. So we land, and absolutely fuck all happens. It doesn't let you actually land. You can't do anything. You can't press 3 to deploy because we're not actually landed, and it's fucking bullshit. And this is landing and horizons summed up. Now we've got a few other areas where it turned blue. Will it actually let us, you know, actually put down this time? No. alignment okay, it's still showing alignment okay, but you cannot go down any further and it's not acting like a fucking landing. So the combination of you know, ShadowPlay being a cunt and a half yesterday, combined with, you know, Horizons being its typical cuntish self now, it just means that what started off, you know, relatively enjoyable trip out here is now pissing me off. I mean, look how long it fucking took to finally be able to put down. Alright, let's get this poxy fucking thing out. I'll say, this is the second time that I've landed in you know, this region. If this video doesn't work, then fuck it. And as I say, I really do not feel like covering too many more videos, so you know, because ShadowPlay is so unreliable on Windows 10, I'm just, you know, I'm not going to be covering the rest of the trip in any real depth. I've already got all of the materials. I could do with finding, you know, one or two more of the rarer ones, particularly polonium. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not going to look too hard. The planet I landed on yesterday had a load of selenium, which would be fine, but I've already got 16 of them, so I'm not really that fussed about getting any more. So yeah, carbon, iron, phosphorus, iron, so we got a sack of fuck all there. I'm not picking that up, I haven't got the cargo scoot deployed anyway. I mean, yeah, okay, it does look quite impressive with the, you know, the nebula clouds around, and you can see the Monkey Head Nebula in the distance there. That's the next nebula that I'll be going to. But, you know, you still need more than, you know, fancy, impressive looking scenery. You need an actual game with some substance, and this ain't it. It ain't even fucking close. Because this ground is so uneven and so hilly, it's a pain in the arse to actually drive the SRV, well, anywhere. Alright, what we got here? Carbon and phosphorus, and it looks like that's about it. So yeah, so this planet really does have a load of fuck all on here. I'm not exactly, you know, going to be looking too hard for anything. So after this one, I'm just going to head back to the ship. As I say, you know, I've already done a video like this once before, so this is just holding me up. I don't need any delays. It's going to take me long enough to get back as it is without having to hang around waiting for this. So now we've got chromium and vanadium. Well, it's better than what I found so far, but I mean, I certainly don't need either of those. Chromium I've been dumping, so I'm down to 22 of those and 22 vanadium, so yeah, I haven't been bothering picking any of that up for a while. While I'm here, so I'm now up to 3,661 systems visited. Max distance from the start is still 6,944. I think that is going to stay at the maximum because I'm now going in the wrong direction to have that going up. You can certainly see the Nebula cloud quite clearly here. This surface is far too bumpy and uneven for me to race back. Alright, let's get on. So anyway, that is the Crab Nebula from one of the planet's surfaces, and as I say, next stop is the Monkey Head Nebula, which is about 12 or 1300 light years from here. So yeah, well,
Frameshift drive charging.
There you go. So that's it, so I'm done. So this is Commander Kaiser saying go away.